My name's Larry Webb. I've been attending faith since March of 16. Been involved in the Go ministry for 4 years. Been set up out here. I'm a usher. See, this is the part where I was more had a problem with society, if that makes sense. I didn't want to be around society, but I'm a product of the 70s. I am a child of the 70s, and it was very prevalent for drugs and alcohol. That's when I started smoking pot and drinking back in mid-70s, smoking cigarettes, just hanging out, counterculture. I guess I was just hiding from society, and I accepted Christ that I could know for sure as my Savior about 1999, 2000, but it didn't change my lifestyle. I accepted Him as my Savior, not as my Lord, if that makes sense, that there's a big difference. And so I continued to live like that. And the whole time I was always blessed. It's amazing that even in my disobedience, God was always there for me, and regardless of what I was doing, much like the prodigal son, except for He was with me while I was away in that country. Then about 15, I really got into drinking heavy, and I was like, this needs to change. And ironically, I spelled out to God what I needed. I needed a rural program. I needed it to be rural. I couldn't pay, and I really wanted to, tobacco was a big problem with me. I wanted a chance to get away from tobacco, and I needed to. He was convicting me that I needed to study the Word more, that He'd been with me, and I needed to start being obedient. This lady one day was like, have you ever heard of Harvest Farm? And it's normally about 2 months to get in. Within 10 days of hearing about Harvest Farm, I was actually in Harvest Farm. So that was God going, okay, I've got a program everything that you described, here it is. Now what are you gonna do? Big turning point for me is the Go ministry. I got in, I always wanted to be able to share the gospel, and it's really hard if you're not experienced or trained or experienced. So when I got into that, the experience with the people that we went out with and the experience of the people we met, it's just the peace. Really, for me, is the peace that I have now, the assurance of knowing that this is okay, there is a plan, it's not dependent upon who I am or what I'm going to do. I'm being invited in to participate in His plan. His plan is going to come to fruition regardless of what I do. So it's a matter of how I react to that.